Peace and blessings. Happy Monday. Thank you for clicking on this video and taking a moment to listen to what I got to say. So let's get to it. Today's Monday message is a quote brought to you by the lovely and most talented Brené Brown. She says, "Our worth and our belonging are not negotiated with other people. These are found right inside our own hearts." So how many of us are guilty of doing this, where we base our value on how other people find us worthy or how other people feel like we belong or don't belong with whatever they got going on? Now, we all strive for belonging. It's something that every human being, is wired to desire. And so it's not something that we should ignore or take lightly. We do need to have a sense of belonging. But just take a moment to think about a sense of belonging. It's much different than trying to fit in. Fitting in is when we change who we are to adapt to the group that we're trying to belong to. Belonging is when the group is just accepting you for who you are. And this is such a beautiful thing. And then unfortunately, it is a difficult thing to find these days. And I want you to just hang in there, because the more you allow yourself to be you, and the more you love and accept you, and the more that you know that you belong here on this planet, the more you are going to shine bright as your authentic self, and the more you will attract those people in your life who can accept you for who you are, right? And you'll start to feel a sense of belonging as you attract those people into your life who meet you right where you're at and accept you for who you are, and they aren't trying to change you, right? So let's just take a moment to, remember, fitting in and belonging are two different things, and we got to stop trying to fit in. Stop trying to be somebody that you're not so that other people accept you, right? This is no fun. It's just a painful way of living, and it's an inauthentic way of living, and it ultimately leads to a lack of confidence because we're not in congruence with who we truly are. So I think that a good, crucial first step is, just taking time to get to know who you are. I think a lot of us struggle with belonging because we simply just don't know who we are. And we're trying to fit into the places that look cool, that look hip, that look shiny and bright and sexy. And we're just trying to fit in with that crowd so that we feel a sense of belonging. But really what we have to do is know who we are. Know what our 5 most important values are to ourselves. Be in alignment with those values. And then when we are that person and we are aligned with who we are, the people who can see us and accept us and love us for who we are begin to be drawn into our circle of life, and then we feel a sense of belonging. I know that we're all sort of walking around trying to fit in so that we can feel confident because we fit somewhere, but really what we need to do is, again, get to know ourselves, know who you are, and what are your 5 most important values in your life, and really live in alignment with those things. Because then the people who see you for who you are, again, they start to be attracted to you. They start to be drawn into your circle. And then you feel the sense of belonging. So you don't have to keep hustling for your worthiness. You can just let that go. How many of us are guilty of that? I mean, I know that I am so guilty of that. I've spent most of my life hustling to get other people to think that I am worthy. And there have been moments in my life where, I really hustle for it and people see I'm worthy, and then something happens and all of that goes out the window. But the real magical moments in my life have been the people who, despite all my shortcomings, despite all of my faults, and despite all of my mistakes, they have seen my worth and my value. Excuse me, I'm getting a little emotional. And we need people like that in our lives. And maybe like myself, you didn't get so much of that when you were growing up with the people around you who nurtured you and raised you and grew you up into an adult. I was blessed enough to have just a small handful of people in my adult life who saw my worth, and I didn't have to hustle for it. They just immediately saw it, even when I was in a low place and in a dark place and in a not so good place. They still saw my worthiness. They saw it when I couldn't see it. And hopefully, you have those opportunities to have those magical people in your life as well. And I'm here to tell you that there is worth inside of you. You are worthy simply because you exist. You are worthy. You have skills and you have abilities, you have talents, you have gifts that are so unique to you that this world needs. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here in this world, right? And so without relying on these outside sources and without having to hustle for our worthiness, what are other ways that we can align with ourselves and feel that sense of belonging and feel that sense of worthiness? Well, I have a practice for you that I think might be helpful. I'd like for you at some point today or tomorrow, when you are in that quiet space, to take a moment to journal and get to know yourself. I think that getting to know yourself is a big part of feeling like you belong. And I think that's a lot of reason why many of us are kind of wandering around in life wondering, where do I belong? Like, what group do I belong with? Who are my peers? And like, what should I subscribe to? And where do I fit in? And again, we come back to that idea of fitting in. And you don't want to take that route of fitting in. You want to know that you belong and that you know who you are. And with that vibration that you cultivate because you know who you are, that vibration goes out into the world, and people who resonate with that vibration, they see that and they are attracted to that, they are connected to that, they resonate with that. And then when you have those peers who are like-minded, or who are like sort of working in the same direction that you're working, you start to feel a sense of belonging even deeper when you have other people with you. But what we want is to get you to a place where you feel like you belong, even if you don't have a group that you're a part of, right? Knowing that you belong here, even if you don't have that group yet. So here are some simple steps that you can take to start to cultivate that sense of belonging. Number one is, just again, take that time to be with yourself and connect to yourself and get to know yourself. And for me, some of the best things in my life that have really helped me get to know myself is yoga, meditation, and journaling. So I recommend that you roll out your mat wherever, with whoever, at whatever studio, it doesn't matter to me. Just do your practice. Do the yoga practice that allows you to take that sacred journey inward to connect to that part of you that is worthy and that part of you that does belong. And that requires, well, really what's so special about the yoga practice is it helps us to get past the thinking mind where all the dark thoughts live and all the negative thoughts live, or like the asshole that lives in between your ears, that person there. You kind of go beyond that jerk that lives in your mind, and you can take that journey right down into the heart. And the moment you start to connect to that heart, there's already a knowing in your heart that you belong and that you're worthy. We just got to get past the thinking mind. So again, yoga and meditation, and I think those two things are super crucial for being able to experience those things. You may find that by just taking a walk in nature, or listening to some really inspiring music, or whatever it is. But I think that yoga and meditation are super profound and impactful, time-tested, proven ways that will get you there. The other thing that's been really impactful for me is journaling. So I would like to offer you an opportunity to journal tonight or tomorrow or someday this week, and just start to contemplate, what are your 5 most important values to you? Like for me, one of my most important values is authenticity and integrity, right? Compassion and presence, right? And when I'm not living those things, I start to lack confidence. I start to feel down on myself, and then I start to feel like I don't belong because I'm not living in alignment with the things that I value the most. So another way to get to know who you are is to ask yourself the big questions and start self-reflecting. Your personal growth is directly correlated to how much you self-reflect, right? And so I want you to take some time this week to self-reflect and to journal and reflect on what are your 5 most important values in life. What do you value? Not in other people, but like your own personal values in life. Like, I really value integrity. And when I am not living with integrity, it's a dark, painful world to live in. And it's emotional and it's not fun. There's a lot of suffering. And so as difficult as it may be to have integrity, it's much more difficult to live out of alignment with my value of integrity. Same thing with authenticity. I really value authenticity and just being real and being honest and truthful. And when I'm not living in alignment with who I believe myself authentically to be, again, I'm suffering, and I start to get into that place of heaviness and negative feelings, negative thoughts about myself, and then all of a sudden I start to have a lack of confidence and I start to feel depressed. Right? And nobody likes to be there. And so I'm here to remind you that, and let you know that there is a way up and out of that, but it does require taking a deep look within, a really deep look within, in an exploratory way, not in a judgmental, criticizing, self-berating way, but in a way where we are asking ourselves the big questions. Who am I? Who am I? What are my values as the individual that I am this lifetime in this body? What are my values? And am I living in alignment with those values? Right? So the moment that you start to course correct and go back to that place where you're living in alignment with those values, you're automatically going to feel better about yourself. And when you start to feel better about yourself, you start to express yourself more freely and more openly. And you begin to just live in the joy of being who you are. And when you be who you are, when you can really live in that space of being who you are, there are so many other souls out there who share the same values that you have. So when you start to step into those values, you start to attract those like-minded individuals into your life. When you have values that you're not in congruence with, when you're out of alignment with those values, you start to attract other people who are out of alignment with their values. And so it's really important that we take time to find this inner alignment, because then we start to find the outer alignment, the alignment in our world that we live in. So take some time to get to know yourself through weekly practices such as yoga and meditation. Take some time this week to journal and ask yourself this big question of, what are your 5 most important values as a human being? Like the values that you hold for yourself, the morals and the ethics, or the qualities that you really value as a part of who you are. Get clear on those things and then check in, like, are you living in alignment with them? Right? And so take some time to just reflect, and take some time to really just dive deep into this work, because the more you do this self-reflective work, the more you are going to grow. And you're going to grow in the direction that is positive and beneficial, and the direction that you've been desiring to grow in your life when you take time to self-reflect. All right? So you belong and you are worthy, and this is not negotiated by other people. Stop trying to fit in. Just start being you, and know that you, who you are, belongs in this world. You belong. And you just got to get in alignment with yourself so that you can start to attract those people who can see you for who you are and love you for who you are, with all of your shortcomings, with all of your greatness, with all of your errors and all of your beautiful things that you do. People who just know your worth despite your trip-ups in life. And when you find those people, hold them close. Hold them close to you. Hold them close to you. All right, I hope that you enjoyed Monday Message, and I really hope that you take time to journal. Please excuse me for my emotions today. This full moon has really got me going, and this is also something that has been just really close to my heart for the last week or so. I've been kind of going through my own stuff with this too, so my sharing my stories is a way to hopefully inspire you and guide you in a way where you know that, like, if I can get through it, you can get through it. You're not alone. You're not alone, right? We all go through this place of not feeling like we belong, and we just need to get to know ourselves. Get to know yourself, and when you do, you're going to know that you belong here. you're going to know that you're here on purpose, with a purpose, here on this planet Earth, here in the city that you live in, here in the body that you're in. Once you truly get to know yourself deeply, lovingly, with compassion, you know yourself, you're going to just, that feeling is going to be there, and that sense of knowing is going to be there that you belong. And hang in there. If you don't have your circle yet, you don't have your people yet, you don't have, you know, your tribe, as they call it nowadays, just start working on your alignment with yourself, and you will start to attract it. I've been there. I've been in that place where I've been trying to fit in, and that is a miserable place to be, and it never works out. Trust me. You always end up outing yourself at some point. It happens. So stop trying to fit in and start going in and knowing who you are. Know that you already belong, and trust that once you have that feeling and you have that knowing, that your vibration is going to send out a signal to other people who are also looking for that same belonging. That vibration is going to resonate with them, and your vibrations are going to meet. Your paths will cross, and you will start to collect your inner circle of people who you feel like you belong with, and people who feel like you belong here on this planet. So I hope that you enjoyed this message. If you did, please drop me a like here on my YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe, as I will be putting out a message every Monday. Although these videos are eventually going to transfer over to my newsletter, so you want to make sure to go to my website, dharmashakti.com, and sign up for my newsletter there. If you found this video helpful and you know somebody who's struggling with this, please share this video with them. And I also just want to end with an invitation to you. If confidence is something that you are struggling with, I am hosting a workshop with my beloved soul sister, one of these people who just, no matter what I do, makes me feel like I belong. We are leading a workshop this Saturday, January 26th at 3 p.m. It's called the Alchemy of Confidence, and it's all about how to cultivate confidence. Carina will lead us through some meditation practices that allow us to sit with the emotions that we feel, the emotions that are blocking us from feeling confident, and I am going to walk us through some practical tools that are like what we call levers that you can pull in your life to start to find a sense of alignment with yourself in a way that you begin to feel confident about who you are, regardless of what other people say. There will be some yoga involved in our workshop, so it's a 3 or 4 hour workshop. It goes from 3 to 7, and we will be doing some asana, some yin yoga, some yang yoga, some meditation, and some coaching practices. So you can check out my Instagram. The link is in my bio, and maybe I'll drop the link in this video here too, so that you can sign up for the workshop if that's something that you're interested in. This Saturday, Alchemy of Confidence. I'd be honored to share with you the practices and the teachings that have helped me find my confidence, which then helped me feel a greater sense of belonging. All right, happy Monday. I hope that you have an amazing week, and until next Monday, I'll see you then.